For this week's EDA, I have recorded my whole run through and I will do a little voiceover. But before we start, I will give you a little rundown what this week's EDA is. So on the left, you see what I have as a loadout. I do have indeed a really good loadout because I do have Jade, which is already itself really good since we do have her weapon, and she's flying. So, reduced damage for airborne and her exalted weapon, right? But I do also have Sybaris, which is an incarnate. I do have Layden, which is incarnate. And I do have Falco, which when you build it correctly with melee influence, I know we all can't hear melee influence anymore, but it is an insane wave clear, right? But we do have this week Alchemy. Alchemy, if you don't know, you need to throw little bottles against the big thing. You need to have the right element. That's literally it. You need to kill enemies. These will drop them. We have as a little extra, Xmas units always drop them, or amphors like they call them. Slain enemies burst with void energy. That's actually really annoying. I think I was also complaining about that a tiny bit, because that is a modifier that I took off and I was wondering why we still got them till I read that. Guardian Xmas units may be encountered, including Guardian Xmas Necromex. Not really a big matter. You can simply kill them if you don't know. Try to shoot the arms first, and the weak spot are the arms and the back of an Necromag, so that will make it easier. For the disruption, this week it is the double demolisher. That is as always a bit annoying, so you need to have actually two people. But my Layden, I tried first killing with my Jade, but my Jade actually is not fully built at this point. I still need one or two more formers till it's fully done. So I only went in with a half build, but my Layden definitely were helpful for that. I was simply, with the shield ability of Jade standing in the back, Warframe Ice slowed it down and Layden just pew 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 pew, And then for mirror defense, it's mirror defense. Do we need to talk about it? It's annoying. It takes long. That's about it. Oh yeah, the glyphs inflicts damage, heat damage. Kind of hurts. Put down a Dante Spectre because we do have Dante Spectres, or in general, we do have Gear Wheel again this week. For modifiers, we have Puncture status effect every time you take damage. Be careful with that, but Dante Spectres. Overguard will cleanse you from that. Ability Overload, that's what I personally decided to go against. Using Ability opens a Void Rift nearby because I did not know if every time I would use my shooting ability, if that would create one. I still can't answer it because obviously I took it off. But other than that, Jade still, whenever you use your one, hypersensitivity duration of negative status effect is tripled. Since once again, if you would use any way to gain Overguard, you would be protected from that. And transfer distortion, you simply can't, swap into your operator. Still, if you still use Vazarin, you still pick your teammate up really quick. So that is not too bad. But yeah, I will now show you my run. I think I went down once because I had corrosive projection on instead of Brief Respite, and I thought I had Brief Respite on. So my build was a tiny bit messed up because I think I showed something earlier. But yeah. In total, it was a fine run. I played with a Hildren, so we were both in the air and just, shooting down. So that was kind of fun, except for Alchemy, because we were kind of arguing who of us is actually walking around to pick up the Yam first. But beside that, have fun watching it and see you in a second. So first things first is Alchemy. Here I were complaining a tiny bit because first things first, I did not know how to get through the door. I was nicely flying and then I was like, oh, how do I get down? It is control, if you're wondering. And I think I started flying a tiny bit early because not a lot of enemies were actually around to kill me. I use an Innovate build currently on my Jade, but I still need to test around what I find actually feel comfortable on Jade. But, I do take my time to test all of the exalted weapons. I have fun with Jade, definitely. Especially because excited weapons make it kind of easy because you're not depending on your loadout. There's two ways to play around your glory, either with your spamming or a nuke build around your 4. I do personally prefer the spamming a tiny bit more. Yes, the nuking would be way better. If you're wondering, as a sentinel, I usually run Death Cube here because for the extra energy. If it's necessary, I can't tell you. Sometimes with certain frames, I was struggling. I kind of stopped after a while. You see here that I kind of struggle a bit. I will swap. You see behind my model, I currently swap from the buffing mode to the shield mode, simply to stay a bit more alive, because I do realize that here that I don't have Brief Respite actually on, as I thought I did, because I was running Growing Power or Corrosive Protection, which would be fine, but I think for this occasion actually Brief Respite would have been like a better choice. But as I said, I'm still testing around what actually totally works. I mean, like, maybe Brief Respite Corrosive Protection would be like also like a way if you don't need the actual extra power, but like Growing Power gives like a nice little buff, let's be honest about that. I also do realize from time to time that I forget to actually cast all of my abilities. I don't have Warframe Eyes up a lot of the times, at least from the cooldown, and that actually annoys me. I definitely do need to like pay more attention to that. But yeah, like I said, since I was playing with a Hilbin, we were both arguing a tiny bit who of us is actually, you know, doing the walking around. But since I wanted to actually test out a Jade, and the Hilbin had a Magistar, which was enough wave clear, they were fine with, you know, doing that. You know, definitely not saying that I didn't have a Falco, which I could have thrown around. But I didn't have any, my bigger problem was I didn't have like any way to like survive on the floor, which you will see in the second run. Because I was walking around in the second situation, or like for the second Amphor, and there I absolutely did not die because you know, no survivability. I think I don't even have Rolling Guard on my build. Like I said, I'm still, you know, working around. I do have a lot of fun with Jade, same with Hildren. I do have fun with most of the like current exalted weapons. I think some of the rework is kind of fine. Some of them is like unnecessary hyped because the framework is like good. Most of them are like quality of life than like as good as a lot of people like actually do talk about, but I'm fine with that. The damage, you know, we don't need to talk about. My damage could be better, but it's good enough, right? Laden, by the way, if you don't know, Laden is one of the Zeriman incarnates. Definitely get it. Laden, when you activate the incarnate, will be like a little machine gun pistol. I would describe it from the feeling here. By the way, I was stuck by the enemies. Lovely. They wanted to hug me. But beside that, Laden, great weapon. I do enjoy the Laden. I'm always really happy when I get the Laden as a weapon for Deviri or for EDA, ETA, because absolutely fun. I do enjoy using the Laden. I find it a great weapon. I don't use it actually too much outside. I might should actually do a really run with Laden, or like a Kume run with Laden, because I have not tested enough around. I might try to actually also get like a Riven, because usually I do like to buff myself a tiny bit with a Riven for Void Cascades. You know, do that with that what you want. Like, if you don't, it's not necessary. I just like it, because usually what I prefer to do with a Riven is I can save mod slots with a Riven. That's how I see it. Yes, it is obviously damage buffing, but in general, it simply saves you like slots. And there, the person just stole my toxin that I was about to pick up to like actually take it with me, but you know. And I'm staggering myself with stuff like here, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's like I'm running, yeah. We're not talking about it. Somehow I'm staggering myself constantly here. I'm not sure if it's because of the Hildren ability or not. But here, we are back in action. And but Latem, I think I will definitely put the Latem on the list of weapons that I want to try and run with Yarili. If you don't know, I do really enjoy Yarili. Yarili is one of my favorite frames to run a Void Cascade with. I usually run it with Furious. Yarili Furious is one of my favorite combination, because with Furious you usually do have... And here I went down because I did not pay attention. Because my Jade is definitely not meant to be on the floor, but I try to be... helpful a tiny bit. Why I didn't throw my Falco, I don't know. I feel like I forgot that I had Falco. Let's be honest about that. I try to be a tiny bit helpful and get some Amphors. I think I like, you know, we don't need to talk about that. That I did bad. We don't have to talk about that. Why I like Furious with Yarili, by the way. Furious has a bit of an issue to actually get 100% crit chance, and since Yarili has this wonderful passive that gives yeah, extra crit chance, it's a great way to combine these two. So I'm a fan of that. Besides the heat, corrosive heat, best combination because, you have the corrosive to like armor strip, but you also have the heat as a tick damage to make sure that if you don't immediately kill something, you have the like slow tick, 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 tick to get actually enemies down after a while. Great way. I like that. I also had like a pure heat build for Furious, but sometimes I find a pure heat build for Furious a bit annoying because sometimes you actually do need to wait a second. I mean, like, it's probably not even a second, let's be honest, to have like all of the heat takes. I mean, like, it is actually dot damage is actually a second, like a full second. You see what I mean, right? But beside that, back to the point. We are going back to like being actually like in the air. So I was aviator. I do use aviator. If you're wondering, don't use aerodynamics. I'm not sure if aerodynamics as a aura mod is really like that good. If that would be like maybe a play to like use aerodynamics and be Spite. Oh yeah, by the way, reset. As you don't know, I did that directly after like, resets because time's changed. It's like now at 2 a.m. again for me. Like for a whole half year was at 1 a.m. Now it's at 2 a.m. again for me. So I did that immediately at 2 a.m. ETA. So ETA, by the way, was like, it was good, like, loot-wise, but it was, like, not good for me because I was a Revenant with a Whisper. That's all I had. So you will see the run later. I will definitely post it. But I'm not too proud of that run, I will be honest. But it was a weird run, and we will talk through that as well. But it was something. It was definitely something. Yeah, I pointed proudly that there is something that they could have picked up, but like I'm a big help. I was lazy. I didn't want to go down. I didn't want to. I wanted to like fly. But yeah, so fun, lots of fun with Jade. I'm burning here, I'm on fire. This girl is on fire, Hopefully not, but like, oh, maybe like, when Jade is like compared to an angel, maybe I'm like, bad angel because, like I'm on fire, maybe, we don't need to like get further into that, but like you get the idea, right? I do enjoy Jade. I feel like her flying could be a bit smoother. I do have parkour velocity on her, I think. I actually do need to check what I have on her. I do have enough shards collected again. I was for a certain time a bit out of shards, so I was a bit more careful who I put shards on or not. So maybe I can like, give Jade some shards and give her some love, Maybe we're testing Jade out this week a bit more because we do have like a full week of streaming ahead of us. So maybe, just maybe. And there I was really proud because I threw in the last one. I was so proud. I actually like, I think I said even like, ha! Because I threw in the last one. I do actually be really mad of myself that I don't have free for Spite on because I do suffer quite a lot for that. I do realize that whenever I rewatch now because I don't have like, besides aerodynamics, not aerodynamics, aviator, I do realize that I'm like, I'm suffering here a tiny bit. I could have buffed myself so nicely, but it is what it is. We still did great. We're having fun, right? We do have fun. That's the best thing. And here we kind of messed up. We're not talking about it. And here I don't even realize that we were like, had to immediately continue with that. But anyway, we're doing great. Pop. Nope, I'm waiting. I'm really patient. Oh. I'm sometimes really patient. I find it interesting when I'm rewatching myself playing. Like how patient I sometimes am. I feel like whenever I'm actively playing, I'm not that patient, but like apparently I am quite patient. Interesting. Really interesting. And there, the other person's going down because Hildred is not actually flying. Oh, I love that. I actually do love that. Okay. We got 2 yellow shards. Let's go. Next one. The second one is Disruption here. Like I said, we need to be a bit careful because we get double Demolisher. Means each of you needs to like kill one. So that's definitely I would say it is a harder time if you want to run solo. I would still say EDA in general is not meant to be solo, but like that is definitely up to you if you want to run it solo or not. I have not run it solo. I usually run it as a duo, like I do most of my stuff. If you run it solo, absolutely up to you. It is absolutely possible. It's just I think the demolishers can be quite annoying. By the way, if you ever need help with your EDA, absolutely feel free to ask for tips and tricks. I'm happily try to give tips also for loadouts and everything. I will be honest, I will not give tips for weapons that I don't have myself or have, I mean, like I do own most of them, but I have not played myself or like built myself because I don't like to give tips for stuff that I don't know. But in general, I will try to do my best and like actually help as much as I can. There, by the way, we're not talking about it. I do absolutely run past it because I think that white spot, and then I realize it's actually like a crystal, and then I'm wondering what the fuck it is, and then I realize the other white spot it is. We're not talking about it, okay? We're absolutely not talking about it. We're just taking it. It's fine. There, because they were like sitting together, saying we agreed that we don't need two people. But I can't tell. There we go. And then we hunted down the Grosslin, because Grosslins do always drop a key. If you don't know, Grosslins will always drop a key. That's actually kind of nice. If you ever kind of struggling with getting a key, if you are able to kill the Grosslin, they will drop a key. Just sometimes annoying, because sometimes they do drop the wrong key. If you, by the way, have your Tenno, you can, or like one of your out of your team, if if you have your Tenno and one of our team is not actively, you know, participating and killing with their primary, either you can hold two keys, one with your normal frame, one with your Tenno, or what you can do is you can hold a key for the next round. So for example, two white keys are dropping at the same time. One out of your teammate can actually hold the key for the next round if you still need to like finish the second round. I think here I will realize that like Jade is not, or like at least my Jade, I don't want to like say general, some Jades probably can do like amazing but like the heat takes would take a while to like actually kill it here. My Jade is not built for pure heat. I do build corrosive heat. I'm not sure if for Demolisher a pure heat would be maybe better, but you know, I would have still killed it, just not immediately. And I think from here on I will actually use my Latum simply because it is simply quicker. Nothing against Jade, nothing. Like, if you have like a better Jade build, it would probably even be better. But, nope, I'm actually still, nope, oh yeah, now. That's a Cerberus, and now I'm like going for like, there we go. And now you see like, it's a bit better. Like, Latum is simply a bit quicker with my build. Oh yeah, we also have something really fun in the second happen. It's like happening now. I mean, like I think it's happening with the next round. When we're going down the stairs in a second, we do have a little incident happening. And I'm also like curious because I will rewatch the incidents and trying to see what happened. Because I probably guess that I die, so I will die and Skizzy will die. So I think I will simply die because I don't have shields. But what exactly happens, I can't tell you. It's this cursed staircase here, but not this round. Oh yeah, I'm just looking around for enemies. I'm a little bit lost. But I'm a lot of the times a bit lost. So... Oh, I do have not shield mode on. I do actually have the buffing mode on. Okay, that's actually maybe good to know. Maybe that's actually what killed me in the end. I should maybe be a bit more careful for that. Because in the end, it is EDA, right? It is a bit more like... I don't want to say it's like trickier. I don't find most of the EDA content hard because I'm luckily at a position where most of the time I do have one of my frames built, and I generally also have at least one of the weapons usually built. So it is actually going fine most of the time for me. I mean, like I do have some weeks where I do significantly less damage. I do have to agree on that. And I do rely on the help of my abilities, or I do rely on the help of my... Crew member, which is by the way always like a great way to like deal with a lot of things. You can use your crew member, right? But besides that, it's fine. Usually it actually it's fine. Okay, let's see. We wrote the key. I realized this thing is not open. Oh, that's still not it. So it was the last key. Good to know, good to know. I don't even realize how many times I nearly die because of my shield. I can be really lucky that how many times I didn't die. Do you see like how many times my shields are actually down and I don't even have like any abilities up? Like, I don't even realize that when I rewatch it now, I just see that how many times I nearly died. I definitely should build my Jade a tiny bit more careful. Maybe at least put rolling guard on just for like, you know, oopsies. And when I'm like on the floor, right? Here, if you're wondering, I built my cannon. Okay, I think, yeah, now it's the situation. Okay, I do have a bit of shield. Yeah, and I just bleed out. Do you see that? I just fell. I just fell. That was so insane. I did have shield, by the way, so I don't actually know what happened. I just, you know... Yeah, exactly. I get picked up and Skizzy's going now. I was like so hilarious. And I still don't know what happened. Now when I rewatch, I'm like, I even had shield. Not like a lot, but I did have a shield. So I have no idea. But that was, you know, that was something funny. We're not questioning it. We're just accepting fate, I guess. If someone of you has like an idea what actually happened, I guess like, I don't know. Was it the puncture perk? No, actually should have not been, right? I don't know. Did I get so much damage that I did not even hear my shield breaking? I have no idea. I just fell. You know, I just got knocked over, you know. That was a clear knockout. That was insane. But that was fun. I was laughing a lot at that situation. Oh yeah, and here do you see, like, try to, like, shoot the arms first. I think that was a really good example. Try to shoot the arm first, and then they can't really attack you anymore, so you can, like, kind of chill. And then you go. But then, once again, I do have a build later. It makes it a lot easier. If not, your crew member can also kill them. Other than that, you can use your... what is it called? Archon, but here you need to be careful because of your ammo, because you will not replenish your ammo. Do anything because none of these enemies will drop ammo at all. But we got a blue shot. See you next round. Last round is mobile defense. I think I don't have to say a lot to mobile defense. It is, you know, protecting. I drop my on-call crew usually first. I'm not sure if it's actually better to drop it on this side or the other side, because I personally find the other side a bit harder to protect, because here you can actually kind of hold 2 points. Oh yeah, here by the way was really annoying because you had to be within 50 meters of the enemies. I think I forgot to say that when I did like the recording starting, right? Where I explained everything. You do have to be really close to the enemies. Which makes your on-call crew a tiny bit useless, because I mean, like, not really useless. So either you like let it follow you around and have an active support, or you just need to hope that it actually aims towards something where you are close to. I do drop here myself a Dante Spectre, because the glyphs that you're collecting, or the little points, yeah, they're called glyphs, they do heat damage, and so I can like protect them easier. I do drop myself a Dante Spectre. Using Spectres, by the way, is support. Don't get it wrong at all. It's not a weakness to use them. Someone were like, oh yeah, it feels like cheating to use them. Why? You usually use material to get them. Like, if you want to get like Overguard or like, you know, Pro tier for like health, energy, life, and ammo, that's totally fine, you know. It's the best way to do it. If you need energy, use energy pads. If you need ammo, use ammo pads. You can use a shield drone Spectre. using specters, it's just making your life easier. Why would you not do it, right? So please, please, please use them if you have the capacity to actually have enough material to use them over time, right? On the wiki, you will find where you get the blueprints from. Usually they are from like rescue on different like levels, but it's a bit like you need to use different stuff to like get different levels. Oh yeah, here are secondary weapons. I wanted to keep that before we go over. And I was like, I didn't want to use it. And they were like, oh, you should have told me not to use it. And I was like, I simply didn't click on it. Yeah. I still find the second. So what I wanted to say, I still find like the second side of the mirror defense a bit harder, because here you can clearly hold the entrance, right? But the second one, since it's like simply round and like the enemies are coming way more like in the circle directly and not like here from like the hallways, I find it like the second side of the mirror defense a bit harder. Here I will simply move over. So yeah, here you see now that like the enemies are coming way closer directly when they're spawning. So I do find this page, or like this side of mirror defense, a bit not harder but like more annoying. So I wonder if like saving my on-call for this would be better. But in the end, it's totally fine. I think like mirror defense, it's not too long, but I still find mirror defense a bit annoying. Same with assassination. Assassination is definitely one of my most hated ones, simply because of ammo. You really need to be really careful with assassination to not run out of ammo with certain weapons. So best case is actually if you have like a weapon with high ammo, you have one of like your glaives, or you have an incarnate, because whenever you swap into your incarnate, you will not use your ammo, right? So that is the best in slot you can get. Otherwise, you most likely will struggle, or you have to sustain yourself with a Proteus Spectre, or you need to hope, you know, to kill actually enemies around. But I'm not sure like how much they will drop, especially if you have the modifier that you pick up less ammo, right? That's also like a modifier that can happen to you. By the way, I most likely will do a whole video about EDA where I will explain all of the modifiers and will try to give tips to every modifier. So I will try to do that most likely like next week. This week will be a video for Netra cells. So I hope that will be helpful for everyone that is just starting out to do Netra cells. Yeah, moving again. There we go. So I'm not sure if like people really find like Netra cells as something like they struggle, but I do know that people need to like know what to do, what actually a lot of these keys means. I want to give general tips what to like look into frames. It will be not like each frame. You obviously can do it with each frame if you feel comfortable with your frames on it. That's totally fine. I just want to like give general tips on it, what works for me, and maybe that will work for you, right? That's just the general idea behind that. But you know, I just want to help, because I do had people coming in and like asking what to like do for Netra cells, or that they were struggling with Netra cells. So why not? I might help. So, and I like to support. But in the end, like you see, mirror defense is simply be patient, like hold the position, and that's it. That's really what Netra cells, or like not Netra cells. Now I like mixing that up. That's really what mirror defense is. I can see why people find that like hard and annoying. I do know that some weeks there's also like a modifier where the defense saga will take down consistently, where you really need to be careful that it's not taking damage itself from any outside damage, because then it will actually struggle, right? So definitely be careful with that. But it is okay. It's doable, especially if you have a good loadout. I think for that, actually, the reworked exalted weapons are great, simply because you don't need to rely on... Yeah, we're moving. Yeah, what I want to say, I think for exactly for that, I think the excited weapons and the rework is really helpful simply because you don't need to rely on your whole loadout. You simply do have the extra weapon from there. So it is a great help. Most of these frames will do work either with a health tanking, shield tanking, or shield gating build, right? So that is definitely an option for you. So you sometimes need to pay a bit more attention to the modifier. Liminus can be like an issue for certain builds if you have cooldown, like the duration, or that you get hurt when you cast a lot. You need to like pay attention to certain modifiers with these type of loadouts. But I think it would definitely be a good one. For example, even though I don't like to play Lavas is a great health tank for EDA. I do play Lavas quite a lot whenever I like don't like my frame loadout and I need like a health tank. I do like to play Lavas with a clip setup. Wisp is also like great loadout for that. A high strength Wisp, but you still have to like then the issue if you have anything related to duration, you actually need to like stay on the nodes. If you don't do that, it can be quite annoying. So. Any actual true health gating, or not health gating, health tanking frames can be really helpful sometimes for EDA. So great option for that. Because keep in mind, even if you don't want to like do EDA, you don't have to take everything. You don't like one thing you can always undo because of like the phosphor, and even then, even if you don't take everything, yes, the rewards will be less. But you only need to take half of them to get more than you would get from net results, or have a higher chance to get what you would get from net results, right? So while I would still suggest to try to get as much as possible, you don't have to do it. And here we go, like actually Crescendo melee adapter. I don't want to like be sad about the melee adapter, but the Crescendo didn't have to be like, be. But like, yeah. That was, my EDA. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. It was one to watch. And see you next time. By the way, don't mess up that loot. That loot is like EDA and ETA. That's a little spoiler for ETA. What we're getting. But thank you so much and see you next time.